What the matter? Hmm? What the matter? He mad? He mad at the mommy? Don't be mad, Poo Poo. Don't be mad at the mama, Poo Poo. You can't be mad at the mama. Don't be mad at the mama, Poo Poo. Hey, Chester. Chester. We got somebody done had the audacity. It's the audacity for me. Somebody done called somebody else a crackhead. Of all the people, of all the people on the whole YouTube, then had the audacity to call somebody else a crackhead. So I'm looking at our favorite girl yesterday. Well, both of our favorite girls, Adrian and Connection Rejection. And so Connection, you know how Connection like to go in on people. Connection called Adrian a crackhead. Of all people. Connection called Adrian a crackhead. Now, Connection was going in on Adrian. Do you hear me? Going in. I mean, letting Adrian. She was throwing everything she had at Adrian's ass. Do you hear me? Everything. Going in on just letting Adrian have it. Okay? But to call her a crackhead? A crackhead. But hold on. This takes the cake right here. This takes the cake. Connection is having a whole mental breakdown right now. We are watching an entire mental breakdown. Connection took some packing tape. And taped up her whole stove. She took some packing tape because she said that something is coming out of her stove. Soot or something is coming out of her stove. Something is going on with her stove. Hold on, y'all. Let me show y'all something. Okay, Connection is going to have to give me her Amazon information. Because Connection said that soot is coming out of her stove. The eyes on her stove. And it's causing her to have eye irritation and heart palpitations and I guess memory lapses, and maybe that's why her hair falling out. But she took packing tape, not Scotch tape, not the tape that we wrap our Christmas presents with, but packing tape, the industrial strength roll of packing tape, and sealed off her stove. She said she cut the stove off. Not only did she unplug the stove, but she said she turned the breaker off, which would be the power. But I don't see how she turned the breaker off, because then that would be the power to everything in the kitchen. Well, her refrigerator already gone. The refrigerator been down for like 2 weeks. Okay? So she ain't had no refrigerator in like 2 weeks. Now she ain't got no stove. And you done call Adrian a crackhead? You living in an apartment without a refrigerator or a stove. And I know that that's against HUD housing rules. They have to provide a refrigerator and a stove to the tenants. She's living in a house without a refrigerator or a stove. And she got the audacity to be on here talking shit about other people. Like, you're basically homeless in a house. You don't have any of the amenities that people in an apartment have. You don't have the basic amenities, which is a stove and a refrigerator. But this woman took some packing tape and sealed off the stove, the burner. She put something on top of the burners so that nothing can come up. And then she took tape, and I mean, she was wrapping that stove like it was a Christmas present. Do you hear me? She was wrapping, like, she pulled out the butcher knife, was, cause she couldn't cut the tape. I guess the tape wasn't cutting well enough with the little serrated edge on it. So she pulled out a butcher knife. I wish I could. I can't play her video because she didn't already threaten to she's already threatened to do something to me if I use her likeness. But honey, go over to her video and you will see it, because I know you don't want to believe that this woman legit took packing tape and was taping off her stove, wrapping the stove in tape like it was a Christmas present. And you got the audacity to be on here calling Adrian a crackhead. It's the audacity for me. Please go and watch that video. She called Adrian a crackhead, and she done took packing tape and was taping off her stove because she said that the soot is coming out of her stove and it's causing her to have these medical problems that the doctors can't even register. And the only time that she's having these problems is when she in the house. She could go outside and the problems don't happen out there, but when she come in the house, the problems start happening again. And she has isolated her stove as the culprit. It's her stove. She said that the reason why she taped off the stove is because when she's in the kitchen, she can feel this air circulating from the stove. Connection. I'm going to need you to go get you a couple of these crystals and put them around your house, because the copper will get any of those EMF vibes and any of that negative energy that you feeling coming from the stove. You can get, I have more than one. You can get you get you 4 and put them on the burners of the stove, and that will keep anything from coming out to get you. And if the pyramids don't help, They have them in necklace form too. You can get you a necklace, and you could wear the necklace around your neck and be protected at all times, because see, the copper is in there also, and they come in different crystal forms. Cause girl, you obviously need something to protect you from your own apartment. Your own apartment is attacking you, girl. Her stove. This is like this. Watching Connection is like watching a horror movie. Have anybody seen the movie Christine, where the car was attacking this? Where the car was like attacking people? Connection rejection stove. Her stove is attacking her. Now, you know what? I would not laugh at mental illness. I wouldn't. I normally don't laugh at stuff like this. But this woman called me a bitch. Okay? She called me a gap tooth bitch. So, I don't care if the stove choke her out at night. I don't care if she can't close her eyes at night because the stove is chasing her around in that apartment. I really don't care. And I hope it gets more aggressive. I hope the stove keeps her woke all night. I really do. I hope that stove be chasing her around that apartment. I hope she can't even close her eyes because the stove be in the kitchen clanking at night. I hope when she got up this morning, I hope the stove had them busted that tape off, and she got to go through and go get some super glue and glue the stove back together. I really do. I hope that stove tortures her. And I hope the refrigerator joins the party. The refrigerator has just joined the chat. Okay, I hope the stove and the refrigerator join hands and sing Kumbaya all night long, and she can't sleep. Can you imagine? Can you imagine taking some tape in 2022 to tape your stove closed because you think it's air coming out of the stove, and you have unplugged the stove? Sweetheart, if the stove is unplugged, nothing is circulating. The stove runs by electricity. If you have unplugged the stove, there's no reason for you to tape. I hope when she got up this morning, that stove had been busted all that tape, and she out here freaking out wondering how it happened. I hope that stove drive her crazy. I do. I hope the stove and the refrigerator be in the kitchen at night singing classic 90s tunes. And what's that little dude name? What's the little dude name that used to do the exercises? He used to do the exercises to the oldies tunes. I hope he bust out in the middle of the kitchen and he be doing his little exercises, and then the stove and the refrigerator be clanking. Girl, the oven just be opening and closing. I hope it do. I hope it do. Like, this woman then unplugged her. So I guess the Richard Simmons, it was like dancing to the oldies or something. I think that was his name. I hope he be standing in the middle of the kitchen doing exercises, and the stove and the refrigerator be in the back just clanking. This woman, see, when you have issues like that, don't bring that stuff to YouTube, because it's going to be somebody crazy like me that's going to use that against you. She should have just, she should have, the stove, she should have just sweating to the oldies. This stove situation, she should have never told them. I wouldn't have never told a soul. I wouldn't have. I just, you can do without anybody knowing anything is going on with your stove. I definitely would not have shown a video of me using all of this tape to tape this refrigerator, oven closed. I wouldn't have showed it. I wouldn't have told a soul. I just would have been like, oh, my stove is broken. I'm going to have to, if I wanted to have a conversation around the stove, I would have just been like, oh, something's going on with my stove. They're going to come in and replace it. But nah, something going on with my stove. The stove is emitting soot, and it's causing me to have all of these things. And now I'm going to have to take some tape and tape this stove. I'm going to take some tape. This is the solution. Now, mind you, let's play the devil's advocate. If the stove was emitting some type of toxic soot, if the stove was, packing tape is not going to save you. Okay? You're not going to be safe with packing tape. With just regular packing tape. That's not going to save you. If the stove is emitting some type of toxic soot, it's bad for you. It's bad because you got it. It's on you. You've inhaled it. I'm pretty sure somebody in that apartment complex would have came and found you sleeping. Okay? Packing tape is not going to keep whatever it is from getting you. Okay? It's still gonna get you, girl. And she said she be in the kitchen and she be feeling this air coming up, and it's coming from the stove. Can you imagine being scared of your stove? Can you imagine being a 50-something-year-old woman and you're scared of your stove? You're so scared of your stove that you had to take packing tape and wrap your stove up. Before I go through wrapping my stove up with packing tape, I would have called the people to come and remove just take the stove out the house. Just take the stove out the house. No, she said soot. She even put it in she even put it in the title of her video. She said it may be the soot. Temporary shutdown. That's the name of the video. It may be the soot. Moth Mama said, oh, that makes sense. She just needs to clean the oven. But she did. The oven looks clean. It looked clean to me. She showed the oven. It looks clean. Moth Mama said replace the burner pans and clean the oven. Yeah, because when it's all kind of debris at the bottom of the oven, it emits smoke from the stovetop. Or it's demons. I'm going to go with demons because demons is more interesting. I think it's demons. I think she got some type of demons that's coming out the stove. And they have came out the stove. See, first it was the roaches. Now these is her stories. These are her stories that she done told. First it was the roaches. Okay? And it's probably the roaches' ancestors that are mad because she killed them. Okay? So this apartment used to be overrun with roaches. And she killed all the roaches. So it's probably the ancestors of the roaches that are mad. Okay? Because the roaches used to live in the stove and the refrigerator. And she killed them. And she took away their home. So it's probably the roaches who are mad, the ancestors of the roaches who are very mad because she took their home. She removed them from their home. And now they have come back and they are haunting this stove. I'm telling you, that's what happened. They didn't took the refrigerator from her. They didn't fix the refrigerator, so the refrigerator don't work. So she don't have a refrigerator. She ain't had a refrigerator in 2 weeks. I mean, this woman been eating mackerel and salmon patties for 2 weeks because she hasn't had a refrigerator. Now she don't have a stove. I think it's the roaches. I think it's the ancestors of the roaches. And see, this is what she gonna have to do. She gonna have to do a cleansing. She is going to have to do a cleansing. She may have to go out and get a roach. You know, one of them big old African roaches. And she may have to keep him as a pet to appease the goddess of the roaches. She's probably gonna have to go out and buy a roach, one of them big old African roaches, or Asian roaches, or whatever, the big ones, and keep him in a container and feed him good. Like she's gonna have to feed him probably filet mignon and really good food from like Whole Foods. Like she gonna have to feed this roach better than she feed herself to appease the spirits, the goddess of the roaches. Because she didn't killed, she done wiped out a whole tribe of roaches. And they mad. The roach gods are mad. They done wiped out her refrigerator, and now they done wiped out her stove. They gonna come for her microwave. They gonna come for her air fryer. They gonna get every last appliance in her house. They gonna get until she appease these gods. She better go get her some candles. She done messed up with these roaches, and they mad. They are mad, and don't you leave, Chester. Don't you leave. Don't you leave. You're going to have to help me. We're going to have to come together as a people and help her pray, because the roach ancestors are destroying her life. They didn't took her refrigerator and her stove. Next, they gonna get her microwave, and she just bought that air fryer. They gonna come for that air fryer too. Watch and see. Moth Mama said, I never saw a roach candle at the Botanica. She can get creative. She can just get a white candle. She can get a white candle. And she can print a picture of a roach. And she can put it on there. And I'll find out who the goddess of the roaches are. You know, who is the Orisha of the insects. There has to be an Orisha that loves insects. I have to find out. And you know, help her out. Cause she didn't obviously she has offended the roaches. She has offended them. And until she hold on, y'all.
Wash it just out on a closer. It automatically curls.
Oh, okay.
And I'll finish the other stuff I come up with.
Okay. Don't worry about it, Mom. Okay.
Okay.
I'll get it.
And we get ready to go.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay, they getting ready to go to a baseball game. So we gonna have to help her. We're gonna have to find out who the Orisha for the insects, who handles the insects. We're gonna have to find out who that Orisha is so we can help her appease the gods. Because they about to tear up her whole apartment. Before we know it, she gonna be then taped up. She ain't gonna be able to do nothing. She gonna be then taped up everything. Cause she say she throwing away stuff because she think the soot then like got on other stuff, so she throwing away stuff. Lord, we gonna have to do a GoFundMe and everything to help this woman get out of this. I think her apartment is haunted. The roaches are driving her crazy. You know, my mama said that if you live in a place and it's full of roaches, that the roaches will crawl up in your brain. They'll crawl in your ear, go all up in your brain. So she probably got roaches on the brain. That's probably the problem. Because anybody that will sit up here and tape up their whole stove, is something going on up here. Something ain't right. That's them roaches up there crawling around in her brain acting a fool. Telling her, go put some tape on the stove. And she listening to him. This child done taped. She done taped up her whole stove. She done taped the stove. See, this is what happened though when you mess with me. This is what happened. When you mess with, you call me a bitch and you think that I'ma just let that slide and oh, that's so funny. She called me a whole bitch. I'ma let that slide. No, girl, I'ma get on your neck every chance I get. I hope them roaches then crawled in your ears. I hope they crawled up your butt. I hope your behind be itching all night long. I hope you can't sleep because the roaches be crawling up and down your spinal cord. I hope they do. I hope they do. I hope they crawl up your butt and be running up and down your spinal cord all night, causing you to never be able to sleep. I really do. I'm laughing, But I really do. I really do. I hope the roaches crawl out at night and be singing 99 bottles of beer on the wall. I do. I hope they do. So have fun over there, girl. Taping up the stove and the refrigerator and the I'm pretty sure they're gonna get to the microwave and the air fryer and every other appliance that you I guess next the air fryer will be talking. She'll be hearing sounds coming out of the air fryer since she's feeling air coming out of the stove. How does a stove that is not connected to any electricity, how is air coming out of the stove? But girl, you forgot to you didn't tape the vent. You didn't put no tape over the part at the top. So can't the soot come out of there too? She covered the burners. She covered the burners with bowls. She didn't know what to do with herself. She was pulling stuff out the cabinets. Is this gonna fit? Is this gonna fit? Is this gonna fit? Trying to cover the burners. So she covered the burners with like bowls and stuff. Lord, I wish I could show you. She thank God she don't have no kids. She don't have no kids. Could no kids stay there? So she covered the burners up with bowls. Okay. And then, the roaches in her head was like, get the tape and tape the stove. And she was like, okay, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And she went and got the tape. And that woman got to tape it. Do you hear me? She got the tape and she taped every part of the stove. I would show you guys, but our stove, we have a totally different stove than she does. But she got to taping. She taped every part of that. Y'all gonna have to go over there and watch her video. I just don't I don't want her to flag my video by showing what she did. But Lord have mercy, Jesus, she took the tape and she taped every part of that stove. The part where you open the stove, she put tape across that whole part. We about to do a field trip. We hold on. Let me unplug this. We about to do a field trip. I'm about to show y'all. Cause y'all not understanding. So see this part right here? She took tape and she covered this whole thing. All of this. She covered with tape. This whole thing. And that wasn't enough. Then she taped the sides so that the oven wouldn't open. She taped all this closed. Then she came down here, but she don't have a double oven like we do. And she taped the burner off. She wanted to make sure that 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 soot didn't come out. Do you hear me? She wasn't playing. She wasn't playing with that soot. Now, I ain't never seen no soot come out of the stove. I've never seen that before. And I've never heard of it. I ain't never heard of soot coming out of a modern stove. I'm confused. I'm confused. I don't know. You know, the sad thing is, I think she has a case manager. I think she has someone to help her. They need to they need to come in. They need to come into her apartment and see what's going on. Like, they really need to check on her because obviously her mental health is declining. Because if I was her case manager and I came into her apartment and I saw that her refrigerator wasn't functioning and she had taped off her stove and had turned off her stove, I would think that something was going on with her. I would. I would be like, okay, what's going on, Cindy? But she sit on here on YouTube all day long and talk cash money mess about everybody. She talks about everybody. So she's sitting out here watching all these videos talking about people all day long. You ain't too crazy. You ain't too crazy. But then I was like, what? Is she trying to turn into like the new Tasty Talks? Where every video now is going to be a storyline about what she needs. Oh, my refrigerator went out. Um, I just put my refrigerator on my Amazon wish list. And if anybody wants to give me some money, so I can buy me a new refrigerator, I would be more than happy, for the cash apps. Thank you for the cash apps. Because one day she was on here talking about, oh, thank you for the cash apps because the money that you sent me, I was able to get me something to eat. I'm like, is she like the new Tasty Talks? Because everybody got a storyline. Everybody on YouTube got a storyline. Like, for real. And if you feel sorry enough for the person, you will help them out. Because if I knew roaches was running all up through her bed and in her closet and all of this kind of stuff, I would have sent her a little cash app so she could buy some roach motels. I would have helped her out. Because I don't want to hear about, she said she would get up at night and turn on the lights and roaches would be in there having a dance party in her kitchen and stuff. Roaches be in there smoking and drinking Hennessy and be beer bottles everywhere because the roaches done partied all night. I would have gave her some money for some Damascus earth or whatever that stuff is that they use for roaches. I'd have helped her out. Because I wouldn't want her, staying up all night like shit. You got roaches like that, you can't even sleep. Because you be scared to close your eyes. Because she said the roaches was all in her closet. They was all in the cabinets. They was in the refrigerator. They was coming out the stove. Now, these is her words. Not mine. I ain't making this up. This woman said that the roaches was so thick she couldn't even walk in the kitchen at night. Because the roaches will be up doing donuts in the middle of the sky. This her story. Okay? That's why now her stove and her refrigerator don't work. Because the roaches, the ancestors of the roaches, can you imagine? The roaches probably got a queen and everything. And the queen is like, go to her house tonight. Dismantle the stove. She will not cook. Damn. The roach queen. Honey, that roach queen said, you ain't gonna cook on this stove. And you ain't gonna put no food in this refrigerator. You know them roaches didn't went in that refrigerator and tore her whole refrigerator up. Because you know roaches are smart. They're not dumb animals. Them roaches done went and tore up her refrigerator. And now they done dismantled the stove. They out to get her. They are out to get her. And you know, look, I'm telling you now, next, all they got to do is jack up her toilet and it's over. They ain't got the refrigerator and the stove. The next important thing in that apartment is the toilet. Once they jack up the toilet, they got her. They got her. They coming for the toilet. They probably trying to figure out now how they can stop that toilet up. And then she gonna be like Tasty Talks, shitting in a Gatorade bucket. I ain't no good. I'm probably not gonna keep this live up. Because I know I'm probably making too many people mad. Okay, look. I've been taking hydrocodone. So we're gonna let that be. We're gonna let that be the reason for this live, okay? I'm doped up. Cause Lord have mercy, they coming for her toilet. That's next. That's next. They done got her stuff. And that's the major thing in your house. They mess with your cooking. They done got the stove and the refrigerator. Next they coming for that toilet. And when they come for the toilet, that's it. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. And she in Texas. You're not going to be able to pee and poop in that house and it not go nowhere. Girl, they're going to be then called the Department of Health. I'm telling you now. It's a wrap. Oh my God. They going to get me? They going to get me, Mark Mama? They going to get me for telling the truth though? Huh? They don't get me for telling the truth. What? Because she swears nothing wrong with her. So the ableist people, they can't come for me. Because she swears nothing wrong with her. Now, if she come out and say it's something wrong with her, then I'll be like, okay. But she swears she fine. So if you're fine, then we all on the same level. She's going to have to come out and specifically say that it's something wrong with her. Even though I know it's something wrong with her, but I'm bothering her anyway. But she's going to have to admit it, not me, because I'm just assuming. I'm just assuming that it's something wrong. And then she had the audacity to call Adrian a crackhead. In her video last night, she called Adrian a crackhead. I was like, look at the pot calling the kettle black. Look at it. Girl, I hang out on YouTube because there's so many crazy characters on YouTube. Now, if I want to learn how to fix something or want to learn how to do something, yeah, there are certain videos that I watch. But I watch YouTube for the characters. It's the entertainment for me. This mess is truly. You don't want that bed in there? Huh? You want to come out? Ask Daddy come get you. You want me to ask him come get you? Oh, let me plug my computer back in. Hold on, Gizmo. Hey, Tina. Wait, y'all. I'm trying to see if Babe will come get Gizmo. I think he gonna say no. He probably gonna say no, Gizmo. Cause he ain't even answering his phone. So, he feeling a little bit better. He feeling a little better. Where is he? There he is. Can y'all see him? He right there with his nose sticking through the gate. He feeling a little bit better, I think. His appetite is still not good. I don't know if that pain medicine bothers his appetite or what, but he's not really eating as much as we really want him to. Nah, he can't come out, girl, because when we let him out, he immediately tries to run or jump, and that's what he can't do. So he has to, unfortunately, stay in his crate. I was trying to see if Babe would come get him. And he can just sit in there for a little while, but I don't know. But connection, you better go and get you some of these pyramids, girl, because they ward off. And you can put these in the different areas of your house. You can put them in your bedroom, wherever you want to put them. You probably need to put them in the bed with you, surround you, because you having a whole lot of issues. You probably need to put it in the bed with you. Put them in your bra, up your panties, and everywhere else to ward off all of that negative energy. This one has a quartz crystal topper, and this one has a amethyst spear. I need to clean it. It look a little dusty. This one is mostly amethyst. It has a lot of amethyst crystals in there. And this one has quartz. I forgot what that is at the bottom. I think this one has citrine, quartz. I have to look it up. But it's got a lot going on. You may need to get you some of them, girl. Wear the necklace, the bracelet. You may need to get them all because it looked like you got a lot of stuff going on in that apartment. Ain't no telling who lived in that apartment before you. But obviously they had a lot of stuff going on. You got a lot of stuff going on. You need to do a cleansing over there, girl. And get yourself together. Oh, you starting a crystal business? Girl, I gave up on mine. I'm too lazy. I started. He said no. He said no, Gizmo. He said he ain't coming to get you, child. I gave up on mine. Because I ain't going to do right. I was supposed to. I'm not going to. I'm not going to be able to do it. Because I just don't. I don't have the patience for all of that. And I had, ordered some stuff. I was getting some stuff together. I had started my Instagram and I had put some stuff on my Instagram, but I never followed through. So Nia Long's boyfriend cheated on her and got caught and got suspended from work. He got suspended for the whole basketball season. And this is what I don't understand. He cheated. It was consensual. The person that he cheated with was another adult. It was consensual. And his job got involved and suspended him. And now Nia Long has to be embarrassed in front of everybody because this dude done cheated on her. But you know what's funny to me is, it brings up this whole narrative around pretty women not being cheated on. Only ugly women, I guess, can get cheated on. We have such a when a pretty woman gets cheated on. But it's okay for a woman that is not considered beautiful by the world standards. When she gets cheated on, it's fine. But it was similar to when this whole cheating scandal with Beyonce and Jay-Z came up. And people were saying, well, if Beyonce can get cheated on, ain't no hope for me. I know somebody gonna cheat on me if Beyonce can get cheated on. Like, beauty has nothing to do with a man wanting to cheat. If a man wants to cheat, he's gonna cheat. And he doesn't care if you're beautiful, rich, if you can cook. None of that. The baddest body in the world, you still gonna get cheated on because men, and women. I'm not going to say that only men cheat. Women cheat also. And it has nothing to do with the person that they're with. It just has to do with the fact that a piece of hair flew in my mouth. It just has to do with the fact that we like different things. And people don't value their relationships or honor their relationships, and they cheat. So I guess Nia Long and this guy have been in a relationship for a while because they have a 10-year-old son. Now they've been in a relationship for all of this time, but they never got married, and that's always a red flag for me. She must have knew he was a cheater. She must have knew. She knew something was up because they never got married. But I just wonder why his job got so involved in this cheating. Were they acting stupid at work, or did something happen at work? Like, how did his job get so involved in this stuff, and they're two consensual adults? I don't understand that part of the situation. Girl, go on and start your crystal thing and do better than me. Cause I will start something in a minute and then give up quickly. So we're sending Nia Long and all of the other women in the world who have been cheated on, whose feelings have been hurt, who have been, and men who have been cheated on, whose feelings have been hurt. Like, who knows? Nia may have known they could be in an open relationship. For all we know, she may have known all about this. She may have known about this situation. Who knows? But it's just weird to me that they're doing this much about the situation. It has garnered this much attention in the news. But I hope it's not as bad as they are putting it out to be. I hope, you know, I hope she knew, because people are saying that she was blindsided by this whole situation. She didn't know that it was going on. I hope she knew before the news broke. Like, I hope she didn't just find out from the news that all of this was going on. And Larry Reed and King Jives and that minister from New York, they going at it big time. So it's a lot going on. But I'm about to take my medicine and get back in my bed. So it's a new documentary about Jeffrey Dahmer on Netflix or something. I might check that out. I might check that out. So that's it, y'all. I'm finna go. I'm tired. I'm gonna see if Gizmo will drink some water. He didn't eat too much this morning. And y'all send out a prayer for a connection that she don't tape up the rest of the kitchen. Um, I hope she don't run out of tape Girl, put some tape on your Amazon wish list and I'll send you some. Cause the rest of the shit in the kitchen about to start acting stupid too. And you probably gonna need some more tape. So put that on your Amazon wish list and I'll send you some tape. I'm finna go, y'all. I love y'all. Send connection some send connection some healing energy so that the roaches don't drive her crazy at night. I'll talk to you guys later. I love y'all. Bye.